Okay?
Why you believe it.
No, give me 2 minutes, I'll tell you.
Why you believe it.
No, you don't
You're
know.
indoctrinated.
I'm not doctrinated. I was agnostic. I was agnostic like yourself. I wasn't atheist, I was agnostic. Now,
I'm a militant atheist.
how did we got so lucky that such a fine-tuned universe come with that amount of chance?
Billions and billions of years, you can win lotto thousands and thousands of times.
No, regardless.
Because of the time. And we have no, what's the word I'm looking for? When you say, we have no example of another universe, so we can only observe this one.
Huh?
Now, 1% of chance is that it naturally occurred, and that's it.
99% it's design.
No, then the other 99% is zero, is nothing. It's nothing.
How it's nothing? We got 1% chance and 99% nothing. The biggest misconception atheists bring to us, oh, why there is so many religions? There is not many religions. All of these religions have the same company. They're from the same source, which was God, but they were corrupted. I'm not saying all, literally most of them. Most of these religions were from God, but human hand corrupted it, and anyone come. Prophet Muhammad didn't just rock up and I said, oh, I'm prophet, believe me. He gave us evidence.
It's not good enough for everybody else.
So
everybody in the world.
That's why I'm telling you to make some research.
Would convert.
Yeah, they do. Half of our tables are ex-Christians. Half of our tables are ex-Christians. In his speech, Prophet Muhammad said that Muslims will conquer Constantinople. Ni'am al-Amir wa ni'am al-Jaysh, best of the army and best of the conquerors. Constantinople was conquered by Muslims. Prophet Muhammad said, people will come from east. I'll tell you.
People said Trump was going to win the election.
You got to be genuine though. You got to be genuine. You can't be this atheist for emotional reasons. You got to be genuine. When I showed evidence, you got to agree. I will show you the evidence now.
What you say is not compelling evidence to me. Can I say anything about that?
Sure. Let's go with your concept. Let me ask you this.
We have an observable universe. That's what I see, and that's what I accept as reality.
Is the universe fine-tuned?
No.
Do you know if the gravity forces, if it was like a bit more, like a tiny amount of hair, been different than the way it is, the universe as we know it will not exist. The stars will not exist. For example, I'll tell you the ratio. The ratio is 1 power of 10, power of 112. It's like a almost nothing chance. How did we got so lucky that such a fine-tuned universe come with that amount of chance?
Billions and billions of years, you can win lotto thousands and thousands of times.
No, regardless.
Because of the time. And we have no, what's the word I'm looking for? When you say, we have no example of another universe, so we can only observe this one. We don't have an example of something else.
You don't need to compare it.
Yes, you do. When you need to compare things, you need examples of something else. We only have this one universe. Simple.
No, if you have a phone and there is not another phone, and I look at the phone and the system of the phone, if it's fine-tuned, I know there is design, there's an intellect. Now, let me ask you these 3 questions. The amount of chance that there is, it's like it's almost like 1 in a trillion. It's very less likely to be a chance.
That's a chance.
But it's less likely, agreed?
It's a chance.
It's a chance, but less likely, agreed?
Less likely.
Okay, done. Is it necessary? Is the universe supposed to be the way it is?
We have no example. This is the way it is.
No.
This is what
is it?
We observe.
No. Do you know this matter can be anything else? It could be anything else. Literally.
I don't know.
The change of energy can turn anything to anything else. It could be anything else.
We only have what we have and what we can observe.
No. Cosmologically, scientifically speaking, it could be anything else.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that.
So it's not necessary. So it's not chance, it's not necessary. For me, it's very less likely though. It's like if it's like 1 in a 99, it's like 1% out of 100 you take it, for instance.
Well,
that's the chance.
That's a good chance.
Yep.
That's a reasonable chance. Over billions of years, you're going to win that many thousands of times.
Regardless. So the chance is like take it very low. Like, okay? It's not necessary. For me, it's more likely it's designed. Because if it's 1% chance, it's 99% more designed.
It's more likely for you, but it's not more likely for me. Because I require evidence for the claim. I don't assume things.
Sure. So I'm telling you, if it's 1% chance, 99% it could be designed.
No, absolutely not.
So what it is? You tell me. I told you the amount of chance, if it's 1%, 99 other percent the chance of it being designed.
1% chance that it's been designed, that's it. Now 1% of chance is that it naturally occurred, and that's it.
99% it's designed.
No, the other 99% is nothing. It's nothing.
How it's nothing? We got 1% chance and 99% nothing.
Two percentages.
No, it's 99%.
I'm not
I tell
a
you.
smart person, but I know you can't have 2 percentages in there. You can only have 1 percentage.
Yes, you can't. But no, look. So you say 20% of males like to go, for example, do some special stuff, like for example, drive cars faster, and 80 other percent females want to drive faster, for instance. I'm saying, you know, so 20% and 80% remaining. I'm telling you the same thing. It's if 1% chance, 99% remaining chance of it is being designed.
I'm not the right person to answer that. I don't accept it, but I'm not the right person to answer that.
All right, you at least admitted that you don't have an answer. It's okay. So now let me ask you this: if the universe is there, it's there's nothing logical with it. If the universe would not exist, there is nothing logical with it.
Don't know.
Universe is there, not there. There is nothing wrong with it.
We don't know.
It's not illogical.
We only know what's there.
But do you agree?
If it's there, we can work on what we've got and what we can see.
So being there and not being there, it doesn't contradict our logic. Do you agree with this?
I don't understand it.
No, universe being there and not being there it's not a logical contradiction. It could not exist. It could exist. It's not a logical contradiction.
Yeah, it's either there or not there, sure.
But now it exists.
Yeah.
So if it exists, how it exists? Because nothingness cannot bring something. If nothing will never bring something.
You keep saying nothingness brings nothing. Nothing can't bring anything.
Nothing cannot bring something.
Well,
prove me wrong.
I agree. If you've got nothing, you probably can't get anything out of it because it's nothing. But who said it came from nothing?
Yeah. So now I'm telling you.
I don't say that. It must have come from somewhere.
We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Yeah.
Must have come from somewhere.
We're getting somewhere.
Allah must have come from somewhere.
We're getting somewhere. So now let me ask you this. So the universe could fail to exist, but that's something that brought the universe. It could not fail to exist.
We were getting somewhere, but you wouldn't acknowledge that Allah has to come from somewhere. If the universe has to.
We're not discussing Allah at this moment. We're not discussing Allah. We're not discussing Allah.
Because that's part of my argument. If the universe had to come from somewhere, Allah had to come from somewhere. Simple. I'll tell you. You can't have special rules for one entity and say, well, he just existed for all time. There's special pleading. You can't have that.
I'll answer your question. Why? I'll tell you, because God must not be coming from somewhere. I will answer your question, okay? We're not even getting to God, but you took us there, but it's okay. I told you the universe could fail to exist.
Yes, it could fail to exist, yes.
But the necessary being cannot fail to exist, because if the necessary being to fail to exist, then there is another, then that puts us in infinite regress. We will have infinite regress of the contingent things. That's why we need a necessary being.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We need a necessary, something necessary.
But the universe is the same. You can say the same thing about the universe. You can say the same thing about God.
No, universe is not necessary. I told you, there is nothing illogical with universe existing and not existing. There is logical issues with God not existing. Leave God alone. I said there is nothing.
It doesn't make sense that God's been there for.
We're not discussing God. We're discussing the necessary being.
He's been there for eternity, and then all of a sudden he snaps his fingers and everything comes into place. That's a ridiculous concept.
We're not discussing God. We're not discussing God. No, we are discussing necessary being. There is something we agreed. Now let's figure out what is that thing. What could be that thing?
Sure, we've looked through the Hubble telescope, and 13.7 billion years ago there was a big expansion.
Yes,
that's what we've seen.
But no. We're talking about the origination, the beginning of it.
That's observed.
That matter was not eternal, though.
It was observed.
No, the matter is not.
It observed that it started.
I agree with you. It's like, for instance, if I put a time bomb inside a house and then it exploded. I ask you, who put the time bomb at the first place? I'm not talking about the explosion. I'm talking about who put it at the first place there. The origination of it. That origination, there has to be a necessary.
That's not a good example because the person who put it there is in the reality of where the bomb was.
Don't worry about the person. There has to be something for it.
God is outside of time, space, and matter, and started it. Well, that's a different concept.
No, we're going irrelevant. You see, we're going irrelevant. We have to determine necessary being first. So I say there has to be some cause for that thing to be there. And that cause, I'm saying it's a necessary being, whatever it is. We're not going to God. Please, let's not go to God. Let's determine the necessary being first. I'm telling you,
Okay.
there is requirement for that necessary being to be there, for the universe to exist.
There's a requirement.
Yes.
Well, something happened.
Sure,
something happened.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We don't know what it is.
Thank you. We're getting there.
I'm not assuming it's
Thank
God.
you. Thank you. I'm with you. Thank you. At least you admitted that.
You're assuming something that doesn't make sense because you assume it and other people assume a different God. You know? They all have...
I'll go there, brother. I'll go there. Just give me 1 minute. Now I will tell you why I think this necessary being is God. Would you give me time? I will finish mine and then I'll listen to you carefully. Okay?
I don't have too much to say.
Sure. So now I tell you why. We say why this necessary being is God. There is few reasons. Okay? Because, as I said, he's the necessary being. He's the one who stopped the chain of infinite regress. He's independent. He's the cause of the universe, or otherwise he's the originator of universe.
So you claim.
Yeah. So also the universe is fine-tuned. I told you there is 99% of chance of design. So when there is a design shows intellect. Intellect cannot be possessed by non-living beings. Intellect can only be possessed by living beings.
No fine-tuning.
By conscious beings. I told you. What is it then? Why it's like nothing chance almost. And you're telling me that nothing chance is more likely than 99% rest of design? That's illogical for me. How would you justify this?
With all the chemicals and the physics of the universe and everything acting upon itself with the suns and the moons and everything and the explosion, there's so much matter out there that it just takes care of itself. It just does what it does by itself. That's my understanding, and I accept that as a more logical reason as to why we're here than making up a God. Because you make up a God, and like I said, other people make up different gods. But we have the Hubble telescope. We can look back in time to the Big Bang, and we can see what's happened. And we're not making assumptions about what's outside before that, or if there's anything outside of time, space, or matter. Who knows?
Okay, I'll tell you why I believe it in this way, and then you can object to it.
I know
okay?
why you believe it.
No, give me 2 minutes. I'll tell you.
I know why you believe it.
No, you don't
You're
know.
Indoctrinated.
I'm not indoctrinated. I was agnostic. I was agnostic like yourself. I wasn't atheist. I was agnostic. Now
I'm a militant atheist.
Sure, it's your position. But let me explain my position to you, and then you can object to it. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Now my position is that if there is intellect, there is an intellectual being, because it's impossible. It's illogical to say that there is a intellect but there is no intellectual being. That necessary being is intellectual. That shows to me. Necessary being is intellectual. Intellect shows consciousness. Consciousness shows living thing. So this necessary being is. I told you when I finished you can object. When I finished you can object.
I've got to object as you go along because I can't remember everything. Now, what you say about the intellect, you've got to be an intellect. Sure, amongst us here, sure, but we don't know if there's an intellect who's done that. That's a different position, that you're assuming something that doesn't make sense. It makes sense to have an intellect here among us, sure, but out there.
I'm telling you the universe is fine-tuned, and I'll tell you why.
I'm saying
if there is two structures, the breaks are putting randomly, and there is another one, it's more accurately, mathematically, without comparing. Look at that one, it's more accurate compared to that one.
Sure.
So that shows to me that's fine-tuned.
It happens by chance.
No.
Yes.
I told you the chance is 1%. The rest 99% of the design. How can you reject that, brother?
If you're in the forest, let me give you an example. If you're in America,
no, don't.
I want to give you an example.
Sure.
If you're in America and you're walking down in the forest and there's a stream, and then all of a sudden you come across a dam and the water's backing up and there's all these sticks and pieces of wood and things that block the river. Now there's two scenarios. It either happened by itself or a beaver made it. A beaver came in and wanted to block the dam and make a house, got all the wood and so forth. Or there was a storm previously and the wood came down and jammed up more and more and more. So
that's not a good example.
There's two things.
That's not a good example, number one.
You're
number
saying
two,
the beaver did it. I'm saying, no, it just happened naturally.
Sure. But we're not. That's not a good example. We're talking about the origination of the universe. The matter for that incident to occur, it was already there. No, the matter was there. The matter for the universe was not always there.
Did the beaver make everything, or did it just happen by itself? It happened by itself.
It didn't. Number one, we will even then. Even let's look at that. Even then, I will look at the design. How is it? Because a beaver is smart enough to make it in a way that benefits him. It's not going to be random. I will see if there is a design behind that thing, and then I will justify it. We can do research. We can do research. No, we can matter.
70% seawater that we can't live on. The land mass, there's huge mountains where we can't live. There's only a certain amount of land that we can live on. The plates of the earth were all joined together at one stage, and now they're spreading out and giving us earthquakes and tidal waves and killing us.
That's irrelevant.
That's not a good design.
That's irrelevant. That's allowing the life to survive. We're going irrelevant, you see?
That's not a design.
We were at the beaver and now here, and you're like driving topic out. So I'm telling you that I will look at that place, that beaver's design, mathematically. I'll calculate. I can calculate. I can calculate if it's fine-tuned. The universe, you can calculate it.
It's not fine-tuned.
Now, let me finish my position, then you can object.
The law of physics, everything's acting on the law of physics, which includes gravity and matter and so forth. Things happen.
Oh, let me finish my position, then you can object, okay? Please, let me finish it. Then I will listen to you carefully for an hour.
Well, I can't talk for an hour. I can only do a debate where you raise something and I have to object to it straight away.
I'll tell you my position.
I can't listen to you for 15 minutes and then go back to
No, not 15 minutes. I will not take much long.
Or whatever it is.
You don't need to agree with me. You have your own perspective, but I will tell you why I believe in it. So, I'll tell you why I do believe in it. I told you there is intellect and there is a living being. It shows to me that there is a necessary being. Without anything, consciousness shows that there is a living necessary being, not just a necessary being, not just some sort of energy. There's a living necessary being, number one. Number two, why do I believe that it's the God of Islam? Because I tell you, that's the biggest misconception atheists bring to us. Oh, why there is so many religions? There is not many religions. All of these religions have the same company. They're from the same source, which was God, but they were corrupted. I'm not saying all, literally most of them. Most of these religions were from God, but human hand corrupted it. A new one come. Let me give you an analogy. For instance, you have an iPhone. If a new model of iPhone come because of the previous version expired, then a new one, then a new one, then a new one, you don't say they're from different companies. They're from the same company, just different versions. All of these religions throughout the history started with Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. They come from the same God. The message is the same, to worship one God. People changed it. They worshipped others beside God. They worshipped whether a stone, whether a human, whether something else. God sent another one, just to out of His mercy. So we worship Him always, so we don't go astray. Look, they all have the same concept. They all have the same concept of God. It's literally the same thing. In Islamic perspective, we believe there is 124,000 prophets sent to humanity, bring the same message. We don't believe Islam started with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We believe Islam started a long time ago. So now I tell you.
Another 10 more minutes.
If it was true, we would all know and we all follow the exact same religion. We wouldn't have branches of different religious sects.
That's man-made though. That's what I'm trying to argue with you, brother. All of these religions were corrupted by human hands. Human changed this for their own power, for their own perspective.
Your God is man-made.
God is not man-made.
He's the only place is in here. That's where He is.
No, He's objectively there because of cause and effect. We discussed this. We already clarified the necessary being. You agree that there is something.
You hide.
You see, no, brother. You can't change your position like this. Switching.
That's just covering up a lie.
And I told you because of cause and effect. You have something cause. Brother, you see, you're switching your position. Like you have to stay in something. When we agreed about something, there is something. That's it. When we agreed that cause and effect, you agree about cause and effect. You can't change your position minute by minute, brother.
I don't know if I'm doing that.
You're doing it, brother. We agreed upon cause and effect, and now you're going back to the same arguments that you repeated. Speak to them.
I don't know about that.
Sure, how are you? Yep. Dean, maybe speak to him. Yeah. So,
Dean, where's my video, Dean?
So now I'll tell you why I do believe this religion is the true one. Now, if a person rocks up and I claim that, okay, there is a necessary being and I'm a prophet from this necessary being, and there is from this God. Okay, I rock up and I put my sword, oh, I'm a prophet. No one is going to believe me, but I'm going to give you evidence. Prophet Muhammad didn't just rock up and I said, oh, I'm prophet, believe me. He gave us evidence.
Yeah, what was that?
I'll tell you. Prophecies. Prophet Muhammad lived 40 centuries ago. There is something called hadith, his speech are collected. In his speech, Prophet Muhammad said that Muslims will conquer Constantinople. Ni'am al-Amir wa ni'am al-Jaysh, best of the army and best of the conquerors. Constantinople was conquered by Muslims. Prophet Muhammad said people will come from east. I'll tell you.
People said Trump was going to win the election.
I'll tell you.
Because he won the election, doesn't mean to say that they know something.
Sure, your opinion. Now, Prophet Muhammad said people will come with small eyes from east, and they will cause corruption. And he said, if Atrak leaves you, leaves them. The Turkic tribes, the Mongol tribes. Prophet Muhammad told us about them.
Had they been in contact with the Chinese and the Asians with small eyes before? Did they know that they existed?
I don't think so. How would he knew they will raise, they will become empires? How would? You see, look, Atrak, what if they...
is not compelling evidence to me.
I will read for you the hadith. I will read for you.
No.
If you don't mind, I will read for you. I don't want to misquote.
That's no good.
No, I will misquote. I don't want to misquote. I will read it for you, brother. You got to be genuine, though. You got to be genuine. You can't be those atheists for emotional reasons. You got to be genuine. When I show the evidence, you got to agree. I will show you the evidence now.
Anything written in the hadith is not evidence.
It's evidence. It's preserved.
They could be lying about it.
Okay.
Misunderstood.
Sure. Now I tell you, this hadith that I told you is from Sunan Abi Dawud. Sunan Abi Dawud was written in 8th century, 800th century. I mean 800 year. And the Mongol invasion happened in 12th century, 4 centuries later. This is not a good argument to make so. I researched every single one of this hadith. Every single one of this hadith was collected far behind of these prophecies. Before these prophecies. Now let's read the hadith now. The hour will not be established till you fight with Khuz and Qimran from the non-Arabs. They will be red faces, flat noses, small eyes. Their face will look like flat sheets and their shoes will be of hair. Some of people will descend onto low-lying ground. They will call Al-Basra beside river called Tigris. They will over which there will be bridge. Its people will be numerous and it's one of the capital cities of the Muslims. At the end of times, the descendants of Qantura will come with broad faces, small eyes, descending on the bank of the river. This is exact context of the place that happened. The Basra, the place that Prophet Muhammad is talking about, the destruction of Baghdad, which later happened by Muslims, by Mongols. How could he knew this?
Lucky guess.
Could you tell me what will happen in 40 centuries?
People make predictions all the time.
Could you tell me what will happen 4 centuries later?
I can tell you what will happen.
What will happen?
There'll be human brains and robots walking around. You won't die. They'll take your brain out and they'll put it into a robot, and then you can walk around and you don't have any problem.
You watch a lot of Hollywood, though. Do you watch a lot of movies?
Some things in Hollywood come true. Did people think that men were going to go to the moon? No way.
It wasn't in Hollywood either.
But it happened, so it's amazing what happened. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much longer.
Okay, sure. Now I tell you. So this prophecy of Prophet Muhammad, where he said, the Arabs will, the Bedouins, the shepherds, the cities will compete with each other building high structures. His prophecy when he said the Arabian lands will turn green. I ask you, how could he knew these prophecies? And you can reply to me. I can give you thousands, and all of them fulfilled. None of them failed to being fulfilled. Of the modern day, of the past, during the history, none of them failed. If you show me one of his prophecies not being fulfilled, then I will agree with you that he guessed it. But none of his prophecies.
I'm not the person to answer that question, but I know people who could answer.
Sure, but you can you respond to me? How could he know the future? You just tell me how could he know the future?
Nobody can know the future.
You don't accept it.
Nobody can know.
You don't accept it. Now you ask to justify your position.
Assumptions about the future. You can guess about the future, but nobody knows exactly what's going to happen.
No, but eventually you will fail. You'll make 1,000 prophecies. One of them will fail. There's many other people who claim to be prophets. The Qadiani prophet Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and the Joseph Smith and Freemasons prophet, the Baha'i prophet. They did prophecies and they failed miserably. I can clearly make a contrast between their prophecies and a person who never failed in one of his prophecies.
All right, you've got good passion, but you're wrong, I'm afraid.
No, I'm not. Brother, I have evidence.
It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for everybody else. So everybody in the world.
That's why I'm telling you to make some research.
Would convert.
Yeah, they do. Half of our tables are ex-Christians. Half of our tables are ex-Christians. Mother, Islam is the fastest switching religion on the whole planet. By 2050, it will be the greatest religion on the planet.
What's your first name?
Abubakr. Abu, call me Abu. Sure.
Thank you, Abu. Nice talking to you. I want a copy of your video.
Sure, you will get one. But let me tell you this. Sure, why not?
Can I give you my email address so I get a copy?
Sure, why not? But let me tell you this. Are you smarter than Harvard professor?
No.
Exactly. Harvard professor, I forgot his name. Lenry, I forgot his name. He converted to Islam just a few weeks ago.
Oh, good for him.
So, are you smarter than him?
No.
How did he come to Islam?
Well,
And so many more scientists. You know Keith Moore, Dr. Keith Moore, he said Quran.
By feelings and by that sort of thing.
No, he's smart.
Not by rational thinking, not by
there are like so many of them. Dr. Keith Moore, he said about the embryology in the Quran. He said this book can be nothing else except from God. The way it describes embryology.
Okay, but there's plenty who leave Islam.
Yes, they do. I agree with you. But I'm telling you, this high-switching religion, they will be.
It works both ways.
Yeah, but smart people never leave Islam.
It works both ways.
Like the people, it's.
Can I get a copy of the video or not?
You're leaving?
Yeah.
Ah, sure. I'll speak to you. Sure. I'll just speak to camera and then I'll come back to you. Yep.
He's got my phone number, but he's not responding to my text messages.
Can you speak to him? He's responsible for videos. I'm not. Just after he finished, you can speak to him. I don't know about videos and stuff much. We spoke to brother and the brother was being dishonest. He was switching his position. Even though we were agreeing upon something, but he would still change his position several times. But what I can say is may Allah guide him. At the end, at least he made the prayer. He was being sincere. He asked Allah for guidance. I don't know if you did out of sincerity or you just said it for the sake of argument. But I wish he said it sincerely. If you say it sincerely, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide him. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he went to the star and the moon and the sun and he asked each to guide him and each disappeared and he lost his hope and then he asked God to guide him. Allah guided him. Allah made him his Khalil. Allah said in the Quran, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنَ دِينًا مِمَّنْ أَسْلَمَ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَاتَّبَعَ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. And who is better than this speech? And who is better than religion? The one who submits to God and follows the nation of Abraham. And Allah took Abraham as close friend. So I tell everyone, the audience, whether you're Muslim or you're non-Muslim, be objective, always be sincere with yourself. Ask God to guide you. Ask always God to guide you, sincerely. That's how Abraham found the truth and he became the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we said the same to his brother. I wish he does it sincerely and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him. And that's all I could do. I give him the evidence and counter arguments, but may Allah guide him. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mixing a deen and dunya, a dangerous combo, find you a balance. If you outweigh anything other than deen, you're gonna face your challenge. And I face mine, my face never prostrated. But you see me on FaceTime, at the same time lost all guilt for the sin, so I stayed on game time.